Hey guys, what's going on? Well, let me get this all set up. All right. So we got a couple minutes before we really kick things off today. Let me bring this guy in. Hope you guys are having a great week. Hope the heat's not getting you too bad. Not just the heat, obviously the humidity. If you guys are tuning in from outside Pennsylvania, you may not know about the humidity here, which is not fun. So I got my AC in here. Um, all right, let me get my little dual monitor um, and see who is tuning in today. All right, we got Kelly Blay. Hey, if you guys have any questions or need me to address anything today, we are in the heat of summer, figuratively and literally. And I know fitness-wise it can stay tough, nutrition-wise it can stay tough. There's a lot of things you'd rather be doing than sweating it out in the gym and sticking to your meal plan when the weather is beautiful. So, hey Tara, thanks for joining me. Um, I got a really good one for you today. All right. But I just want to remind you guys, any questions, any comments that you guys have, please feel free to drop them in the comments. When you do tune in, drop a comment, drop a like, give me a wave, whatever. If these things ever, glitch or give out, please give me a comment so I can stop and take them off and just do it without headphones. All right. So I want to talk to you guys about the 4 disciplines that you need to master if you were going to change your life. Okay. So, like I said, we're in the heat of summer right now, and um, it's hard to stay on track. It is really hard. Thank you, Sydney. I appreciate it. So it is really hard to stay on track in the summer, especially living in this area of Pennsylvania outside Philadelphia. There's beach trips. Everyone's going to the shore, whether you're a Delaware or Jersey beach shore person. There's barbecues. The weather is nice, and for some reason, when the weather is nice, we want to drink outside or grill and make mixed drinks, stuff like that. So tons and tons of reasons to not stay on track with fitness, and it's freaking hot. If you're go to a gym like mine where we can't put air conditioning in here for various reasons, it's hot. I personally like working out in the heat. I like leaving drenched in sweat, but most people are normal and they don't like that. So I do want to teach you guys a couple skills that you can learn to get the most out of your fitness, get the most out of what a lot of people like to call a transformation, right? That could be weight loss, that could be mindset, that could be changing the way that you live or changing serious health stuff. So there are 4 disciplines that you can master to get the most out of your transformation. And I'm going to be brutally honest. I'm stealing this from a book called The 4 Disciplines of Execution, which is a great business book and strategy. But it is so applicable to fitness that we're going to turn it into a fitness concept here. All right. So the first one is to set a goal. To not only set a goal, but set what they would consider a wildly important goal. So a goal that is not only enticing, but is really exciting, that is really energizing, something that you can visualize really vividly, and you can see yourself accomplishing. Okay. So I would challenge you, this first discipline is to sit down and set a goal. All right. And we're going to talk about how to do that in a second. But I'll remind you guys, I've talked about this before, but the hardest part about goals is actually sitting down to set them. It's very hard for us to take the time to slow our lives down to really sit and think about what is the goal that I'm after and what am I trying to accomplish. So the actual setting of a goal is the most important part. And there's a lot of mistakes people make along the way. So I'm going to talk about how to set a goal. Okay. So a lot of people have heard of SMART goals, but maybe have not heard like how to do that or what that all means. All right. So to set a goal, you first want to, come up with like the most energizing and exciting outcomes that you want to accomplish. Whether it is a final pant size, dress size, a weight that you want to see on a scale, a performance goal, like if you run 5Ks, if you just want to, go up and down the stairs without being out of breath. you need to pinpoint something that your current health is holding you back from. And it needs to be something very specific. It's got to be something very specific. I sit down in here every single day with people that come in and, they give me, I ask them what they want to accomplish. And, the first thing is like, I just want to be healthier. Okay. I just want to feel better. And the truth is, if you want to be healthier, you could go run a lap around this building right now, and you are now healthier than you were before that. All right. So healthier is too vague of a goal. All right. You want to feel better. All right. If you want to feel better, you could get a great night's sleep, and the next day you're going to feel really good. All right. So you want to come up with a goal that is very, very specific, and you want to come up with, the thing that really nails down. Uh-oh. Did I just cut out? Can you guys still see me? Looks like my live stream cut out for some reason. Let me make sure that that's not true. So really nail down like your wildly most specific. Give me one sec, guys. Are we? Somebody give me a comment. Can you still see me? All right. So I think we're still good. So sorry about that, guys. Tech stuff is always a little bit of an issue. So you want to nail down a very, very specific goal, okay? So nailing down what is the thing that your health is holding you back from, and come up with a really, really specific thing, all right? A specific weight, a specific pant size, specific body fat, specific performance goal, specific way you want to feel. When I walk up the stairs, I want to have that spring in my step, okay? Take a photo of yourself, get a very specific visualization of what you want. Another thing that's not specific enough is pant size or clothing size. All right. So, if I said I want to wear a size 32 pant, I'm like a 34 now. I want to say I want to wear a size 32 pant, have the button closed with enough room that makes me feel really comfortable. That is a specific goal. All right. So you're going to set your wildly important goal. It's got to be energizing, and you have to be able to visualize it. All right. That's discipline number one, is to set that crazy important goal and visualize it. Okay. Number two is you want to do what are called act on the lead measures. All right. And this is a huge mistake that people make. A lot of people stop at the goal, but they don't create what are called the lead measures. And the lead measures are the daily actions that are going to lead to a likely outcome. Okay. So let's use the goal of I want to lose 50 pounds on the scale. Just throwing it out there. Again, we're not super weight focused here, Gage, but it's just a really easy one for people to conceptualize. So let's go 50-pound weight loss. Okay. That is what they would call a lag measure. It's called a lag measure because once you reach it, it might be too late. Or once you reach the deadline, you either hit it or you didn't. So it's not something that is easily controllable. So you need to come up with what are called the lead measures. They're the daily or weekly ongoing actions that are likely to lead to an outcome, or the desired outcome, which is goal achievement. Okay. So you want to come up with your lead measures. Now, what you want to do is you want to identify the least amount of things that will lead to that outcome. All right. So these are going to be different and individual for everybody, and a lot of it has to do with what you're already doing or what is already habitual to you. But let's say your goal is to lose 50 pounds, right? You would come up with lead measures like, all right, what are the things that have to happen for me to be able to accomplish 50 pounds of weight loss? First one is I have to eat a certain number of calories every day. Right? That is a lead measure. Okay. I have to work out X amount of times per week. That would be like a weekly lead measure. Another really good one is, I'll take a progress photo of myself every week. All right. So those are three really, really solid lead measures, all right? And they almost become like micro goals, all right? So you would want to find a way to capture those and say, all right, if I do this for the next, X amount of time, that's going to, help me reach my goal. Sorry, I with the distraction I got, I missed the rest of goal setting. So your goal has to be measurable, all right? You have to be able to measure it, all right? Very, similar to specific, but it's got to be measurable, all right? It's got to be attainable. It's got to be something that's actually realistic. So 50 pounds in 2 weeks is not realistic. 50 pounds in the next year is realistic, okay? It's got to be relevant, all right? So what does that mean? So when I say the goal has to be energizing, it also has to be relevant. It's got to be relevant to the grand scheme of your life. So if you are really overweight and your main goal should be weight loss, setting a goal to like do 50 push-ups is not going to be all that relevant for your life right now. So you want to make sure whatever goal you're setting is going to be relevant to your values and to the things that are most important in your life. All right. Another example of this is if you've got kids that really your value system says that you want to be able to keep up with your kids and be a great father or mother, just losing a stupid amount of weight isn't always going to be the most relevant, because sometimes that can take away from the time with your kids. If you're, not eating with them, if you're spending so much time obsessing about your weight, that can be a not relevant goal. And the last one is the most important one, is time sensitive. All right. I've talked about this before, but we want to set a really strong deadline and make it our goal time sensitive. So smart, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, time sensitive. Okay. Now that you've got your goal, let's jump back into our discipline number 2, which is acting on the lead measures. All right. So we've got our 50-pound weight loss goal by January 1st. All right. What are the lead measures that are going to get you there? Work out 4 times a week. It's a good one. Eat X amount of calories, depending on, or identifying your calorie number is something that we can do for you at Gauge. It's something that, really you can kind of contact us and we can coach you through identifying the exact amount of calories you need to be eating to reach the goal that you want. And what was the last one? Oh, taking a progress picture. So I really like that one because especially with weight loss, you're not going to see the things on the day-to-day basis. You're not going to see the changes on a day-to-day basis unless you spend some time and you step back and look at them from a distance. It's almost like watching your hair grow, right? Every day you're not going to see your hair grow, but every like 3 weeks you're going to be like, damn, I need a haircut, right? Same thing with weight loss or changing your body. You're not going to see the changes on a day-to-day basis, but 3 or 4 weeks later, if you step back, you're going to say, damn, I look really good. So take photos of yourself every week. All right. So those are your 3 lead measures. All right. But we're still not done. All right. So that's discipline number 2, is act on the lead measures. Don't just stop at, all right, I set a goal. When do the results show up? All right. You got to do the work. And that's why this is called a discipline, because you've got to do the work to achieve that goal. All right. So discipline number 3, this is a fun one. Keep a compelling scoreboard. All right. And this is one that I think if more people did this, they would see an amazing result. All right. Keep a compelling scorecard. So you've got your lead measures, the things that you're either going to do on a day-to-day or a weekly basis. All right. So you want to create a very visible and compelling scoreboard. All right. So, for example, if your goal is to work out or hit your calorie goal every single day. All right. So Jerry Seinfeld has a famous thing called "Don't Break the Chain." So somebody asked him a long time ago, how do you write so many jokes? How do you stay so active? And Jerry Seinfeld was like, I don't break the chain. He had a wall calendar in his office or in his home, and every day that he sat down to write jokes, he wrote a big X on that day in the calendar. And as many days as he strung together, those X's started to look like a chain. And his thing was, don't break the chain. He kind of turned it into a game that he played with himself, and he gamified it. All right, so that's what you would call keeping a compelling scorecard. All right, and his lead measure was sit down for X amount of time to write jokes every day. to write every single day. And he knew that if he did that every single day, then he would lead, the outcome would be a successful comedy career. All right. And that's the exact same approach that we're taking with whatever goal you come up with. Again, for this example, we're using 50-pound weight loss. All right. So your lead measures need to go into some sort of scoreboard. We provide a lot of resources like this for our clients where we come up with scoreboards and things that people can track accountability. It might be right now we're doing a check-in thing at the gym, and people put a sticker every day that they work out for the month of July, or it was like last month into this month. But that was a scoreboard, all right? So you're keeping score. If they hit a certain number of workouts, they're getting a prize. And we actually got to run through that. But that's one version of a scoreboard. Nutrition is another scoreboard, all right? So another nutritional scoreboard that we built for clients is off 3 metrics: protein, or calories, protein, and water. Every day that they hit their calorie goal, they got 2 points. Every day they hit their protein goal, they got 1 point. And every time they hit their water goal, they got 1 point. Now, calories always outweigh protein and water because at the end of the day, with weight loss, calories are most important, all right? But protein is, very important, and water is really important. So we really built this scoreboard for clients, and at the end of the week, they wanted to be able to score. I can't remember exactly how many, but so come up with a compelling scoreboard, all right? And again, this takes a discipline. It takes a discipline to keep the scoreboard. It takes discipline to develop something that's going to be exciting for you, all right? But you have to keep a scoreboard. You have to know if you're winning or losing at any given moment. You have to know if you're winning or losing at any given moment. And it has to be visible. That's probably one of the most important things. It's got to be in front of you the whole time, because the second you take your eyes off of it and you take your finger off the pulse, you're going to stop, playing the game. You're going to stop being excited about that scoreboard and if you're winning or losing. All right. So, another one is, weighing yourself every day. If you can handle that mentally about weighing yourself every day, that could be a good scoreboard to keep. Okay. So discipline number 3 is keep a compelling scoreboard. Last one here is creating a cadence of accountability. So accountability is really holding yourself to your commitments, holding yourself to your lead measures, all right? Having an accountability partner or a coach is one of the best things that you can do. So here at Gage, when we run the business, we've created a cadence of accountability in our staff meetings. So we have a weekly staff meeting where we sit down and we make a commitment to what we're going to do for our personal or professional goals every single week. And if we don't hit those, that's a big deal. That's a big problem. So you need to hold yourself to the same level of accountability. You need a day and time every single week that you are going to hold yourself accountable to your scoreboard and to your lead measures to reach your desired outcome. It can be whatever it needs to be for your individual goal, whether it is coming into Gage and stepping on the in-body, all right, and facing the numbers of your body fat percentage, your muscle mass, your weight, and all of that. It could be sitting down and reporting to a coach like we do here. It could be having a friend or family member that really holds you accountable to the commitments that you make, all right? But here's how that accountability needs to go. You're going to mentally or physically, depending if you're doing this with a partner, report on your last week's commitments. This needs to happen weekly, by the way. You need to hold yourself accountable every single week, because if you go longer than a week without some sort of accountability system, you're going to just fall off track. Life is going to, get in the way. Other urgent things are going to pop up, okay? So report on your last commitment, all right? If you said you were going to go to the gym 4 times, did you do it or not? Yes or no, all right? Hold yourself to that level of accountability. Then you're going to review the scoreboard. How are you doing towards your goal? If your goal is to lose 50 pounds by the end of the year in 12 months, right? You should be losing about 4 pounds, 3.5, 4 pounds every month, right? Doesn't sound like a lot, but at the end of that month, you want to be able to say, am I on track or off track, all right? And if you're doing disciplines 1, 2, and 3, you really should be on track no matter what your goal is. All right. So you want to review the scorecard, and then you want to recommit. Every week, you want to make a new commitment to the next set of commitments, the next set of goals that are going to get you there. All right. If you fell behind in your progress, then maybe you need to make a bigger commitment this week. If you're on track, then maybe you just need to recommit every week to those lead measures. Work out 4 times, hit your calorie goal, take a progress picture every week. Okay. So that's how that accountability meeting, you either do it in a journal, right? Pen and paper, which I'm a big fan of, or you've got an accountability partner or a coach that you sit down with and talk to and say, all right, hit my commitments. Here's where I'm at currently compared to my big goal. And here's what I'm going to do next week. All right. It's called creating a cadence of accountability. Is every week, without fail, you have this meeting, whether it's with yourself or with a coach. Okay. If you follow these 4 disciplines, I promise you your life will never be the same. If that's your goal. If your goal is to change your life, to change your health, to change your weight, change the energy and overall health, if you stick to these 4 disciplines, I guarantee you your life will change. Okay? Something that I've seen myself, something that I apply to my business and I've seen in my business. It's something that I've seen with clients when they have this level of discipline and accountability. It will change your life. Come up with your wildly important goals. Sit down and write it. Okay? The biggest thing people don't do is sit down and write down their big goal. Come up with the lead measures, the things that they need to be doing ongoing in order to hit that big goal. Keep a compelling scorecard. Find a physical scorecard that you can look at and know the drop of a hat any given time. Am I winning or am I losing? Am I on track or off track? Okay. Use the lead measures and every week hold yourself accountable to accomplishing those. The last one is create a cadence of accountability. All right. Sit down with yourself every single week and hold yourself accountable. Hold yourself to a high level and a high standard. If this goal that you have is big enough, right, it's important enough for you to hold yourself to a high standard. All right. Something you can think about is imagine that you had a really good friend that came to you and asked for your help. And they needed to change their health, they needed to change their life. All right. And they said, listen, I need you to hold me accountable. How would you respond to your best friend or family member if they sat down and they weren't hitting their commitments, if they weren't staying disciplined? All right. If you're a good friend, you would probably chew them out, right? You take them to the woodshed and tell them how serious this was, right? But we don't tend to hold ourselves to the same level of accountability that we do to somebody we love. And that's what I'm challenging you to do. Hold yourself to the same level of discipline and accountability that you would hold somebody that you care about. All right. And I'm going to finish with this. All right. These 4 disciplines, your goals, your lead measures, and these disciplines that I'm asking you to follow are never going to be as urgent as the things that come about in our daily lives. Right? Our daily lives can run us ragged, right? Our kids pull us in a million directions, work calls, we're up nonstop. All right. But that's the way life is, and we have to carve out the time to follow these disciplines if we want something bigger than what we have right now. Because the whirlwind that is life has gotten us to the results that we currently have. And if we always use that as an excuse to not hold ourselves accountable and not stick to our plan, we're never going to be anything greater. Because all of those urgencies and things that happen all day, every day, they're never going anywhere. They're always going to be there. So you have to accept that and also carve out the time and discipline to fulfill these 4 commitments to yourself. All right. That's it, guys. The 4 disciplines for transformation. I hope you guys like that. Send me a message if you have any questions. If you ever want to sit down and chat about this stuff, I'm always here. All right. Have a good week.